Sunday, June 30, 2013. This is Mercedes Diesel Guy, and this is my 1991 Volkswagen Vanagon. I just wanted to conclude this particular video series with a little post-mortem on the head gasket job. As you know, I broke this video up into many parts because I would basically take a little bit of video pretty much every day I was out here working on the van. I finally got it running yesterday and took it for my first real test drive today. Just got back, went about 5 miles locally. And aside from, one stall going around a slow speed curve really early on, it really did run fantastic. It started right back up from that and didn't have any other issues. That was about a quarter mile around the corner, and the next 4.5 miles were absolutely without any incident. So a couple of questions. Do I regret doing the job myself? No. As always, I learned a lot doing the job. And it's funny, even though I've been driving the Subarus for 7 years now and the van for 10, I know a lot more about the Subaru's mechanicals, so it was good to learn more about the van. Is this a DIY job, you might ask? Well, yes and no. It's certainly a very advanced DIY job. This is not the sort of job I would recommend to somebody who is new to working on their car and maybe has only changed their oil so far. There's a lot involved in this. And honestly, if I hadn't already, taken the engine out and replaced it last year, I still might have been scared off by this. Not sure about that, but it certainly ranks among the most difficult repair jobs I've ever done, but so far, so good. Like I said, I've driven it, I've had it up to temperature. It is not leaking anymore. It's got power, it's running smooth, so at this point it's really just a matter of keeping an eye on things. Like I said, I definitely don't recommend this to a beginner. However, if you are a seasoned DIYer, and you have the time and the space, I'd say it's certainly worth considering doing the job yourself. There's certainly plenty of information out there on the internet, and there's plenty of official published literature on the job. It's certainly not impossible. And in terms of cost, it really wasn't too bad. So costs, I would really have to kind of sit down and total it up, but I would say, well under $300 to do this myself, possibly under $2. Like I said, really not bad. Trying to think what other useful information I can leave you with. Other thoughts. Doing the job in the van as opposed to taking the engine out for the head gaskets. People do differ on this. In fact, I was nearing the end of the job and I asked some advice online, and somebody responded rather curtly that I really should take the engine out and doesn't understand why I would do a stupid thing like leave the engine in. Well, there's plenty of room to work in here. I can't stress that enough. I don't see really much of any advantage to taking the engine out unless you get the cylinder head unbolted and everything is just hopelessly stuck. In which case, it's not too late to take the engine out at that point. You're not really gonna hurt anything by waiting that long. So I'd recommend just doing the job in place. As far as I'm concerned, you have plenty of room to do the job. The only thing that might be a little easier is if you have the engine up on an engine stand, it might be a little easier to get the push rods back in and reseated properly in the hydraulic valve lifters. That being said, I was very careful when I reinstalled those, and I did kind of cross my fingers when I started it up again, but everything went according to plan. All 8 push rods ended up being reinstalled perfectly. All in all, though, I'm very happy with the job. Certainly don't want to do this all the time, but I've proved to myself that I can do the head gasket job. So I hope some of the information in these videos help if you've been watching them. So I hope this was helpful. This is Mercedes Diesel Guy, and I'm just going to finish up this video with a little startup, and I'll show you the engine running.